once in a rare while, if I will call it that way. Particularly if you love going to places or traveling to places that we can label like off the beaten path, which that's my travel style. You will experience some oddities. Sorry, Barb, just help me break it. So situations that you did not expect, but it happened. All right, like for instance, off the beaten path and destination. Like apparently, no, incidentally, I do have the tumbler I got from. Anybody have heard of New Way? Neither do I when I started planning my South Pacific trip last summer. New Way, it's nowhere like us. It's a wonderful off the beaten path destination. It is reachable from South Africa, no, not South Africa, New Zealand, New Zealand, Auckland to New Way. I was there last year. Wonderful off the beaten path. All right. So now that you have heard of New Way, it's a very small island nation in the middle of the South Pacific. Anyway, if you would love to hear an hilarious story that happened to me yesterday upon my arrival here in Lilongwe from South Africa, okay, stay tuned. All right, this is what happened. So I flew from, like what I said, came from in my other video, came from Eswatini, and had a long stopover, okay, overnight because I have to catch the plane. There's only few planes and departures to Malawi that day, so I have to go back to South Africa, Johannesburg, and stay for a night, and then catch the plane with the Malawi Airlines going to the Lilongwe. So my itinerary did not say that it will stop by to one of the airports here in Malawi. Let me show you. You saw it if you started the video on the map. So what happened is that, okay, from Johannesburg, the plane landed not directly to Lilongwe, but in this city, the Blantyre. It's already in Malawi. Okay, it's already in Malawi. I said Malawi, like Sibebe. It's already in Malawi, Blantyre. Before it flew to, let me show you, flew to Lilongwe. Lilongwe was my final destination. Like what I said in my itinerary, it did not say. So when I was at the airport at the gate, I'm in the correct gates. Gate A1. That's correct. And I started flashing the city, Blantyre. Of course, it will start flashing the first destination city, which is Blantyre. And I noticed that what? Blantyre? I'm not going to Blantyre. I'm going to Lilongwe. But I checked the board. It states the same flight number and airline. Oh, that is a breath of fresh air. So 021. Okay, so flight number, it's fresh from my mind because it was just yesterday. Flight number 021. I told myself, okay, this is correct. All right, so I queued up. That is already boarding. And I asked the local, one of the passenger, and then he's going to Blantyre. And then I asked him, is this going to Lilongwe? Just to make certain, because I didn't see Lilongwe. What I saw is Blantyre. Yeah, he has a stopover in Blantyre, really. Yeah, it didn't tell my itinerary. My itinerary did not tell such, but it's all right. So what happened is that, so I boarded on the plane. So this plane will first make a short, brief 30-minute stop in Blantyre, one of the big cities here, which is in the southern part of the Lilongwe. And in Lilongwe, as you see from the map, right there, that's Blantyre, Lilongwe. And it was a breath of fresh air. I am on the right gate, that is for sure. And I'm looking at the right flight number and the right airline that is definitely on the go, 021 Gate A1, Malawi Airlines. And now the long way is confirmed as the local or as your co-passenger. And then, okay, it was a breath of fresh air. So it was, okay, to make this long, hilarious story short. So this is a hilarious part. Alright, so it landed in Blantyre. So it was still great, you know, it was, it's almost about 4 hours. Okay, from Johannesburg to Blantyre, more or less, 4 hours. And then some passengers unloaded and then new passengers came in. So it's a short, quick stop. So passengers heading up to the long way just stayed on the plane, which I did. That's typical. This is my first time to experience this, but this is what happened. So it landed in Blantyre and it took off from Blantyre to the long way. It's about 30-minute flight from Blantyre to the long way, but apparently upon landing, so everyone deplaned, of course, including myself. So we were waiting for a bus. We are on the tarmac. There's no tube. Since it's a small aircraft and a small airport, although it's international, a good one though, there's no tube. So you land on the tarmac. So we're waiting for the bus, okay, the shuttle bus to take us to the passport control. Alright, so in other words, so it's a combination of people, now it's a combination of passengers, domestic and international passengers. I'm an international passenger because I came from Johannesburg. And the one who boarded in Blantyre, these are domestic passengers who go to the long way. So now the flight is already domestic. So from Johannesburg to Blantyre is international, but I did not get off the plane because my destination is a long way. And then from Blantyre to the long way is already domestic flight. So in other words, domestic arrival. So what happened is that boarded on the shuttle upon landing, together combination mix of international and domestic passenger. So I didn't hear an announcement, and something is that. So it's my first time, right? It's my learning curve. So learning as I go. So we are on the same bus, domestic and international arrival. So the first stop was domestic, and it was very close to the door of the shuttle. So it stopped at domestic, and then I get off the bus. Now I'm in the domestic terminal. And then we're in a domestic terminal, so there's not a lot of people. And then there's a conveyor, all the luggages, because I have to check in my luggage because it's very small. It's quite a small plane. So what happened is that, so like what I said, my attention was caught by what I'm seeing from the outside, right here inside my hotel room. And sorry, here you have the Lilongwe. You see the hospital, the bustle of the city, and the sun is up now. All right, continuing my story. So I took off the bus, and I didn't realize I was in domestic terminal, and that domestic terminal doesn't have a passport control. So only the domestic passenger can just get off the plane, to the bus, to the conveyor to get your luggage. And I noticed that, what? I'm an international passenger. I have to pass through. I have to be cleared. They got to see my visa because everyone needs a visa here in Malawi. I got my e-visa, so they got to see my visa. you can get visa on arrival. So, but I got my e-visa. It's easier. I got my e-visa, and then I was up. What is happening? It's already container right in front of me, and there's nowhere to go. Just pick up your luggage. I was waiting. It's like in my mind, why bag first before being cleared? That's not right for myself. All right, so what I did is I started asking people, is this the flight that came from Johannesburg? Flight came from Blantyre. Or of course they would like to say Johannesburg because they came from Blantyre. Yeah, I came from Johannesburg. Oh, that's international. And then the lady told me, that's international arrival. She told me, you should not get off the bus. You should have remained on the bus because we are the only one who had to get off the bus because we are the domestic passenger. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Blimey. Now I thought myself, oh my God, I screwed up. And then a wonderful lady, and then she told me, okay, just follow this pathwalk, and then you see the immigration police. And then I asked the immigration police, but I told her what I told the lady, the domestic passenger. And then the immigration police told me, all right, so just go back and look for somebody, okay, back there to take you to the international terminal. Okay, and then I went back to the baggage conveyor belt, and then I went to the place where the bus unloaded us, and then blessing disguise, I saw somebody who works there, and he told him, all right, I think I made a mistake, an honest mistake. I took off the domestic. I should be international arrival passenger. I had to be cleared first before getting my luggage. And then I thought, okay, let me walk you. So this gentleman who works there walks me to the international passenger. It's about quarter of a mile. It's a pretty long walk. And I'm walking on a tarmac, right? Kind of escorted by someone. So because passengers are not supposed to be there, right? So it's a really controlled place. It's on the tarmac, and thank goodness there was somebody. Otherwise, I'm like a headless chicken. It's an honest mistake I committed, right? So what happened is that he walked me through the immigration. And then as we walked, I explained him the story that the plane originally came from South Africa, landed in Blantyre, and then the long way. And I was together with the domestic passengers, together with the international passengers in the bus. But apparently, I did not hear any announcement. And I knew, so I took off. And he said, don't worry, because this is not the first time to happen. It happens. So when I came to our international arrival section, then it's even a breath of fresh air. Now all the formalities, get a passport, control, your visa, and then you get your luggage. It was a quick thing, so they stamped my passport. So they even took me to the local arrival because I already have my visa. Other passengers has to queue up, get an e-visa, so I don't want that. So I took my e-visa straight away because, like what I said, Malawi, everyone requires a visa, and then you can either get an e-visa before departure, before arrival, or get an e-visa on arrival. I decided to get an e-visa, so I didn't queue up. And then I just went to the line and saw my passport. I was even in the local line, right? It's like for Malawi residents. So that's quick queuing up. It was hassle free, and then I found my pickup. Anyway, so that's a long story, very hilarious, okay, in my opinion. And like what I said to begin with, not every travel, or once in a rare while in my case, there's some sort of mishap, honest mistake. Yeah, it was a bit of nerve-wracking to begin with. It's like, oh my goodness, I will be jailed. No, Because one thing is that in domestic, you don't need to go to passport control to be clear because you're flying domestically. You just pick up your luggage if you check in your luggage. But for any international arrival anywhere in the world, you had to be cleared first. You can show your passport, all those formalities to be a bona fide tourist. All right, not cutting the border, right? So yeah, it was an hilarious situation and a learning experience as well. Okay, right. I like what I said. I'm right here in Malawi, and it looks like a wonderful nation. And I've been reading this magazine. It's a beautiful magazine with information that, in my case, I need to know or you need to know as a tourist from the geographic location, good map, history. Historically speaking, the first inhabitants here were pygmies, and then the people from the DRC came in, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and then the British came as colonized the nation, and they were freed. I think that was in the 60s, and now it's Malawi is a sovereign nation. And luckily, this nation is one of the poorest nations in the world, together with Sudan, Afghanistan, and I believe in 2024 ranking, this nation out of the 190 plus nation, Malawi is on level number 6, which is a very poor nation. And here there's a lot of investors. As a matter of fact, I had no choice. So this hotel, see, there is a mosquito net because there's a lot of mosquitoes here. There's no mosquito in my room, okay, so far, right? But a lot of mosquitoes. Has a lot of investors, and then I was speaking to the hotel manager this morning that Malawi mostly they do not have their own infrastructure, and it's the foreign investors, which is I guess is pretty good because it provides jobs for the people, right? So yeah, there's a lot of Chinese investors here and any other citizens. As a matter of fact, most of the roads, he said, are made by China. Yeah, so here's an example road, and petrol station, everything primarily is from other nations because, like what I said, Malawi is it's a poor nation. There are people who are living way, way, way below average. And upon arrival, there were several beggars on the road. Really the hustle and the bustle of the city, and then the buses are so congested. Saw it from the taxi yesterday, and I arrived around 5:30. I was almost 6. It's already sunset, and I saw it from the road. So your initial impression, the initial sighting will give you a good impression of the nation upon arrival, particularly if you're heading off to the city. Like a long way, because here you will see the hustle and the bustle of the city. Anyway, so that was my hilarious story, learning experience. Like what I said, if you travel internationally, sometimes expect the unexpected, and then you just need to get out of shell and then enjoy. All right, so put some smiles in every experience as long as it's an honest mistake. All right, so I'm here in the room, and Malawi, in addition to what I've said, in spite of, Malawi is a beautiful nation, a landlocked, surrounded by Mozambique on the eastern side, and the north is Tanzania, and then on the western side is Zambia. I've been to those countries except Mozambique, and then to the left side past Mozambique, sorry, is the Indian Ocean. And this nation is rich in culture, history, as well as biodiversity. And according to this magazine, Okay, according to this magazine, Rediscover Malawi. Malawi is very successful in translating animals, case particularly the big five, to different national parks. So they're preserving it, which is great, right? So it's a haven of wildlife and resources. And here there is a famous Lake Malawi, one of the largest lake in the world, and primarily that is the most distinct natural beauty that you will see when you look at the map of Malawi. So the Lake Malawi, I'll be heading out to Lake Malawi tomorrow and to one of the national parks, which is close to Lake Malawi. Forgot the name. Anyway, so once again, what a hilarious story I have, okay? I think. Once again, traveling is not arriving to a new destination. It is looking at the world in a different perspective. Keep the smile and the world will smile at you. Cheers. Be safe. Bye and God bless. Bye from the long way, capital city of Malawi.